Hey guys, it's Mr. Gary coming to you live with Storytime with Mr. Gary. I'm excited about the book today. It was recommended not by one, not by two, three different kids asked for this. The Duck and Goose. It's a New York Times bestseller, and apparently it's a whole series. So Duck and Goose is a big deal that wasn't around when Christopher was young. So I didn't know about how popular Duck and Goose was. Um, just waiting. We're actually a little early, just signing on like a minute early to allow everybody a chance to come up. And hope everybody's doing good and they're excited. Someone's calling me. I'm not picking up the phone. All right, it's 11:15. So the New York Times bestseller Duck and Goose, written, illustrated by Mr. Tad Hills. I like the name Tad. It's a nice name, Tad. So here we go. Hey, Jaden, how you doing? Jaden, Duck and Goose. Hopefully you like it. So this is the picture. The Duck and Goose, they find this thing in the middle of the field. Oh my, what is that? Duck quacked. That's a silly question, Goose honked. It's a big egg, of course. Of course it's an egg. I know that, huffed Duck. What I mean is, where did it come from? Goose looked upward, up into the sky, looked to the river, he looked towards the fields, and he thought very, very hard. Who are you? He finally asked. So Duck and Goose find this thing, and they were like, it's an egg. Oh, hey, Faith, and Connor, and Jacob, and Justina, and Anthony, and Connor, and Adrian, and Jessica. So look at Duck. I, said Duck, puffing out his feather chest, am the one whose egg this is, because I saw it first. Hey, David from New Providence, how you doing? Hey, Mason. Well, Goose wasn't having any of that. Goose quickly raised his web foot. It's mine, because I touched it first. Uh-oh, I know where this is going. So this is what Duck and Goose say. Look at them. They're arguing whose egg it is. Hey, you should never put your dirty foot on an egg, Duck scolded. Don't you know anything about caring for eggs? Well, yes, I do, Goose cried out. Stop yelling, Duck yelled. Then he whispered, don't you know that you and your screaming are very likely disturbing the baby bird who is trying to take a snooze inside that egg? And Goose wished that Duck wasn't right, but he knew he was, and he lowered his head and whispered softly to the egg, I'm very sorry. Go back to sleep in there. So that's the picture that way. Hey, Sky and Tommy. My, that's quite a beauty you have, called a blue bird across the tree. Thank you. It's mine, quacked the duck. Actually, it's mine, honked the goose. Thank you. It's kind of funny. They both think it's their egg. I'm not sure if it's an egg. Faith, do you think it's an egg? I don't think so. So, asked the duck, what do we do? We should do something, suggested Goose. Yes, you are right. Good thinking, agreed Duck. Like what? Duck and Goose each thought. And here's funny. Like the duck has, this is private property. It's Duck's egg. No geese allowed. No honking. $5 fine. And the Goose had the same thing. If you're a duck, keep walking. No ducks beyond this point. Be quiet. Absolutely no quacking. So they're both trying to protect the egg, but from the other person. Well, we must keep the egg warm until the fuzzy little occupant is ready to come out, said Goose. Excellent idea, exclaimed Duck. He pushed past Goose. Step aside, and I shall just do that. But Goose was really quick. Look at him running beak to beak. It does look like a Yossi egg. After a lot of fussing, grunting and groaning, slipping and sliding, honking and quacking. Look at them, all trying to get on top of the egg. And look at them on top, but they're not looking at each other. Duck and Goose found themselves back to back. Scoot over. I don't have any room, complained Duck. You are much closer to me than I am to you. Stop yelling in my ear, Goose. Shh. Goose hushed, pointing at the egg down below. Yes, yes, yes. We must remember. Quiet, quiet, quiet. We mustn't disturb the little one. And so they sat there together, back to back, very still, very quiet, waiting. For a long, long time, they waited. Hey, Catherine, how you doing? They listened to the crickets chirp and the frogs burp. They listened. I'm going to teach this baby bird how to quack like a duck. Duck boosted. And I'm going to teach how to honk like a goose. Goose honked back. And I'm going to teach the baby bird to waddle. Goose added. Well, so am I, said the duck. They heard the pitter-patter of the rain. I'm going to teach the baby bird to swim, Duck said. Me too, Goose said. To pass the time, they sniffed wildflowers in the warm sun, shared breadcrumbs with each other, while Goose taught Duck how to honk. They watched the sun set in the sky, and Duck taught Goose how to quack. Oh, that's really nice. Hey, Gwen and Cassie, I'm so glad you're here. Kind of looks like they're becoming friends, I think. They counted the stars in the night sky. Let's teach our baby to fly, said Goose. Good idea, said Duck. I'm sure our baby will be a fast learner, said Duck. If it takes after you and me, I'm sure you're right, agreed Goose. So that's kind of nice. And did you notice they started saying our baby? I kind of like that. And they're saying how great their baby's going to be and all the things that they're going to teach their baby. Together, they waited until... Oh, did you feel that, Duck? Duck nodded. Yes, yes. Did you feel that, Goose? And Goose nodded. It's time, Goose. It's time. Duck squaddled. And they were so happy. They're untouched because they felt the egg starting to hatch. Hey, Andrew. How you doing? Thanks for coming. And Catherine, did I say hi to you, Catherine? Quickly, Duck slid down and started running in circles around the egg. What do we do now? What do we do now? He hollered. I think we should remain calm. Goose yelled back. Excuse me, a little voice called out. Well, what's that? A little tail feather? Hey, Andrew. Duck stopped, and all the exciting confusion, he failed to notice the little bluebird was kicking their egg. Look at that. What are you doing kicking our egg? Silly bluebird. Can I play too? The bluebird said. Play? This is no time to play, yelled Duck. How do I do this? Okay. There's no time for games, yelled Goose. And what's with the kicking? I was only trying to get your attention, said the little bird. Well, you got it, Duck huffed. False alarm, Goose. Back to work. Can't you see that we are very busy here? Goose explained to the bluebird. This is very serious business. Perhaps the most important moment of our lives. Oh my, I am so sorry, apologized the bluebird. I had no idea. I just thought that maybe I could play with your ball. It really is a nice one, she added, and then the little bluebird flew away. Wait, a ball? I thought this was an egg. Oh, uh-oh, look at them. They realized they made a mistake. Goose gulped. Did she say ball? He whispered to Duck. You know, I did have my doubts, Duck finally said. It is a bit squishier than most eggs I've seen. Yes, and I must say, I was somewhat suspicious of those big dots, Goose admitted. It may not be an egg, but it is lovely, said Duck. Oh, absolutely, Duck, Goose agreed. It's a keeper. Oh, Mr. Geyer's fingers are always too big. Last page coming up. As the crickets chirped, the frogs burped, and the grass swayed in the gentle breeze. The goose quacked and duck honked, and the ball bounced, rolled, and sometimes even flew because they kicked it up in the air. The end. That was really, I like that story. That was pretty nice, I thought. I didn't realize it was a whole series, Duck and Goose. And what I liked about it the best was, they both wanted it. They both wanted to protect it's frogs, okay. And they both wanted to protect the baby bird that they thought was inside. And they started to work together. And they started talking about all the things that they would teach the baby when the baby was born. It was a ball, so they just played with the ball. And I started thinking, all the things that I like to teach my kids. And, you always think of so many things you can teach them. And, Christopher, when he was young, we never thought he would talk. Everybody said he would never talk. And if you know Chris now, he doesn't shut up. He talks all the time. But I think the most important thing, and I did a pretty good job, I think, with Chrissy and his sister and his brother. I think what the most important thing that we can teach anybody is to be kind. And if we can do that, everybody just be a little kind to each other, I think the world will be a much better place. So Horton hatches an egg. Maybe we can do that. That's a long book, Stacy. A really long book. We do have it, but that was a lot of reading, so I will take a look at that. But that is one of my favorites. Tony, thank you so much. And look, it's upside down. Let me go this. Woo! Duck and Goose. Glad you enjoyed that. Tomorrow's book, Miss Simone's been typing away. Tomorrow's book is If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. I love that story. That's a really good story. Really good story. So hopefully you would join us tomorrow. Every weekday, Mr. Gary reads a brand new book at the same time, 11:15. But if you miss it or if you come in a little late, just go to our POAC Facebook page, POAC Autism Services, and hit the videos. And all of our videos of all my stories and our music classes and yoga and Zumba and Mr. Scott the Music Man. And today we have autism music class at 2:30 with amazing Mr. Jim from Key of Awesome. Mr. Jim, it's a great music class because he usually describes the song, gets to play, goes over the words. I really like the way he handles the class. So that's awesome. We love you guys. Hope to see you all really soon. So from me and all of my friends at POAC, stay safe, stay POAC family strong. We love you, and I will see you tomorrow at 11:15 for the next story. Thank you, guys. God bless.